What is up, Prison Break enthusiasts? We're back for another One Piece video, and today you know what time it is. It is time to drop our predictions for chapter 1168. Yeah, that's right. It's no longer 6-7 week, you guys. We're now at the good old 6-8 instead. Ironically enough, next week is 69, so we can't escape the number of memes. As long as humans exist, we will always be making fun of numbers for essentially no reason. So getting right into it, just in case this is your first time here, how this works is that we take 9 crap shot predictions on what we think we could see next chapter and what we hope we could see next chapter. Getting right into it, we like to go through the previous week's bingo sheet first, just to see how close we actually were to the mark. So, taking a gander at our 1167 predictions, the first prediction that I made was that Harald goes to the Holy Land. I was actually very confident in this right here, and it did happen. I gave it a 100% chance. That is how in line I was with it. Harald meets the God Knights, another big ol' W in my book. But of course, like I said, these are pretty predictable. Some of my predictions are going to be like on the money, and then I'll have crazy ones like this right here, where I thought that Mihawk could make an appearance. I gave this a low 10% chance, and of course, this did not happen. But maybe one day, brother, one day we'll have to learn where the mysterious world's strongest swordsman actually comes from. Next up, I said that Roger would visit Elbaph. I was kind of lower on this one, but I still thought that this could happen. And funny enough, while we didn't get Roger visiting Elbaph, we did see Scopper. A lot of people missed Scopper in the chapter, but when Saul is talking to King Harald, Ripley is in the background, and she's holding her hand up like this, and you could see like a scribble mark on her hand, which I'm assuming would be Scopper. And then, of course, if you try to fit it into the timeline, their son Colin should have been born at that time, so it all works out. But of course, I said Roger, not Scopper, unfortunately. Next up, I thought that something foul would happen to Ida. I think we did say somebody could have poisoned her, funny enough. I thought that somebody could poison her, somebody would attack Ida, or maybe she would just get straight up kidnapped. And lo and behold, Ida has been poisoned. Will she survive? We'll find out soon, but personally, you know how I feel about this. If you are a mother in One Piece, if you own a uterus, you're probably gonna die. Once you give birth, Oda says, I'm done with you, I don't want to play with you anymore. Goodbye, lady. Next up, I said that we could get a Barbell update. Did not get it. Barbell did not show up, but of course we did get his brother in the chapter in the form of Fisher Tiger, and I love that. Funny enough, I mentioned Fisher Tiger too. I was like, okay, if we go to the Holy Land, we could get Fisher Tiger and Barbell, and maybe Barbell is who helped him escape. But no, we only got Fisher Tiger, unfortunately. And funny enough, people are like spreading memes saying that Fisher Tiger one-shot Shanks, even though, Shanks let him win, but I don't know. The agenda piece just goes crazy, man. Agenda piece, you cannot reason with it, you just gotta laugh with it. So, now, on to the bottom 3 predictions, and just a reminder, the bottom 3 predictions are from the comment section. I pull 3 comments, and we drop it in the bingo sheet to get that nice community interaction. The first one, they said that Harald could get Domi reversed. I gave this a really low % chance, just because I feel like that would be moving too fast, and of course, we are not there yet. So, no, did not happen. Funny enough, though, we did get Harald with the Abyss mark, so you could say he's taking the steps to get Domi reversed, but it hasn't happened yet. And also, since Harald has the Abyss mark, I don't think he would get Domi reversed. Instead, I think it would be more like an Emu possession, kind of like what happened to Gunko here in Elbaph, and also like what happened to Saturn over at God Valley. I think Emu will simply take over with his blackened form. Next up, this comment said that we could get a Garling update in regards to Shanks. And we got it. Look at that. Ding, ding, ding. We got a freaking bingo. Beautiful stuff, brother. Yes, Garling did introduce Shanks this chapter. He kind of talked about Shanks being kidnapped. That was the weird circumstance he was under. So that is perfect. And now for the next comment, they said that we could get an Eris or Teach update. I felt pretty good about this one, but unfortunately we skipped very far into the future, and we got neither of them, which in my opinion is pretty crazy. I was pretty confident in this happening, mainly because Rox seemingly told his wife about everything in regards to Emu in the world and his plans. So I was like, okay, yeah, maybe Rox told Eris about his best friend Harald, and how Harald is somebody that you can trust. And if Eris went to Elbaph, yeah, they could get along. I'd bet you $1 gazillion that Harald would shelter her off the coast with Ida or something. But no, we did not get Eris or Teach. I wonder what happened to them. Since we didn't see them yet, and so many years have passed, I think, 23 years have gone by? Yeah, I think she's cooked. I do think she's cooked by this point. We'll probably get more updates on her when we hit the Blackbeard flashback, but for now, she is MIA. All right, so those are our 1167 predictions. Let me just go ahead and save this image real quick. Boom, 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 perfect. So now we could just wipe the slate clean. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm not like the best with Photoshop. I try, but let me tell you, I'm not that good at it. So, first prediction for the next chapter, 1168. It looks like I got rid of my list, so I'm gonna have to pull it up. There we go, okay. First one, this is another wild one, kind of like how last week I said that we get a Barbell or Mihawk update, but I'm moving the stocks around, and I think we could get a Dr. Kureha mention, or we could see her. Dash, appearance, yeah, there we go. Dr. Kureha mention dash appearance. So you might be saying, Sai, this is kind of wacky. Wait, Dr. Kureha? Why would we see her? Well, funny enough, this isn't the first time I've mentioned Dr. Kureha. When we started the Elbaph flashback, I thought we'd see her a lot sooner. Because of God Valley, because of the Holy Land, and etc. I said, yeah, maybe she'll pop in at some point. Because eventually we do need to get her lore. She will be important. I mean, hell, she was the first character, I always like to say this, she was the first character in the series to drop the Will of D and tell us that Gold Roger wasn't Gold Roger, but Gold D Roger instead. So she knows a lot more than she's letting on, a lot more than she's told us, and we gotta see how. You know, maybe she'll show up here in Elbaph because Hyrudan went to go look for a doctor. She could show back up here, and she could try to save Ida, and I just think that would be awesome. And if she meets Harald, maybe she sees the mark on his arm, and she's like, ah, yes, you got one of those, huh? Yeah, rest in peace, Harald. Like, I think she could drop some ominous lore if she were to make an appearance. So now, for the second pick, I think that we will see the Harald blunder. So far, Harald has been really good to the world government, and I'll admit, I think the world government has been pretty good to Harald too. At first, I thought that they were going to string him along. They were going to, meme on him, laugh at him. But genuinely, they kind of like him. The Gorosei were kind. The God Knights were kind. The only one that seems to not like Harald outright is Emu. But that was also at God Valley, where he said, oh, Harald is a fool of a king. I'm going to manipulate him. But it's like, I wonder if that changes later. Because Emu is the one who mentions Harald's blunder. So it's like, oh, maybe they do get a decent relationship. Maybe Harald even ranks up and he sees Emu. But either way, I do think we will see the Harald L here. Will it be intentional? Will it be accidental? We're not too sure. Because genuinely, he is very close to getting Elbaph to become a member of the world government. And he has never once, in this flashback, pushed back on that mindset yet. He's been with the Holy Knights for, how long has it been? Like 23 years? He's been with the world government for 23 years, and he's never once really backed down. So I don't know why he would do it now. So I do think it is going to be a genuine blunder. So, my third prediction, and this is kind of a weird one, because I don't think anybody really cares about them, but the Elbaph Elders, I think we will finally get these guys revealed. Yeah. So we first heard about these guys when we started the Elbaph flashback, and we saw two different silhouettes of them. Granted, same pose, it doesn't really, matter. So we saw one silhouette of these guys, and there's 4 of them. And these are the ones who told Harald that he couldn't marry Ida, and that he had to marry Estrid instead. I think there's a pretty good chance we could see these guys in this week's chapter, because Ida is sick, because Elbaph is about to be queenless entirely, right? Even though Ida's not the queen, she was a decent candidate. Now that she's gone, I wouldn't be shocked if these guys try to step in and set Harald up again. Maybe they're going to comment on Harald getting Elbaph into the world government position. I just want to see what they're all about. At first, I thought that they might just be throwaway characters, but because they were mentioned in 1167, it's like, okay, I hope we see them. I want to see what they look like. Are they going to be cool? Will they have aura? Or is it just going to be a bunch of old guys hanging around? So next up, this is kind of a funny one, but I think we could genuinely get the world government. Oh, wait, how do I spell government? Oh, there we go. World government help. Yes, I think they could actually help Harald now that he is in need. We saw last chapter that Ida did not want to bother Harald because he's busy, but literally 3 panels later, they said, oh, let's just go call him, right? So if Ida is sick, I like to imagine that maybe Saturn or one of the Gorison members or maybe even Garling, he's like, hey, like, let's send a doctor her way. Let's send Vegapunk, dude. Like, let's help Harald. And then he could owe us one, or maybe this is just like a favor for a friend. Because you gotta remember, right? The God Knights do like Harald to an extent. So why not help him? Help him when he's in need. I think that'd be pretty awesome. And it would show a different side to the Holy Land that I think would be kind of fun to see. So, next up, I do think that Ida gets cooked. She's not surviving, dude. You know, going back to last week's prediction, I thought that she'd get poisoned or something bad would happen. Now we can seal the deal and say that she just gets cooked. She dies. It is the Oda formula. I cannot imagine her surviving, man. It is almost impossible. Fighting an uphill battle. So, for my 6th prediction, Harald becomes a God Knight. Yeah, so right now, Harald is simply God's steel. He's the right hand of the Holy Knights, but I do think he's going to level up and he's going to become an official member. And maybe what happens is that right before Elbaph gets admitted, that is when he blunders. I think he's literally going to make it to the finish line and then something bad happens. So yeah, I think he's going to get that promotion. He's going to become a God Knight. And that is when things will go south. So now, on to the final row. Of course, like I said, these are all from the comment section. Apologies, I didn't wait longer, but I posted the post-game video kind of late, so I didn't have a big pool of comments to go through, but I did like the ones I found. This one says that we could get the Gomu Gomu no Mi taken by Shanks. There is a slight problem with this, in my opinion, and it kind of goes back to the last prediction that was in this slot the prior week, but this would mean that there is a massive time jump. Well, okay, massive in quotation marks. This means that we would already have seen Harald die and Loki escape, and also whoever stole the Devil Fruit. This would require a really girthy chapter, so I don't think it's going to happen, but I do think we could see this in the flashback, though. So yeah, if I had to put a pin in it, I'd say this is a 1170. Yeah, 1170 plot point, but not 1168 and maybe not 1169. But like I said, I do like these ideas at the bottom, so that's why I bring them in here. And also, if the comment has a couple of likes and people kind of rally behind it, then I will put it up here. So now, for the second comment prediction, they said Mihawk lore. Yeah. I guessed this last week. I got burned. But this is a commenter. Different. And also, 2 comments in a row said this. So I was like, yeah, why not? Let's put it up here. So 2 comments. One of them said Mihawk lore. The other one said that Harald fights Mihawk. So Mihawk at this point in time should be known as the Marine Hunter. What has Harald been doing? Fighting pirates. So there is a non-zero chance that the world government is like, hey, Harald, can you go fight this guy who's killing Marines? We really need the assistance, brother. Harald goes. Maybe he loses, which would be insane for the Mihawk agenda. And then that is when they send Shanks Mihawk's way. Or maybe Harald and Shanks work together, which would be pretty damn cool. So now, for the final one, this just says Garling something. Nothing really specific, just Garling something, which I do agree with. In a weird way, this flashback is kind of being taken over by the Fagarlands, and I think nobody hates that. You know, we all love Shanks, we all love Shamrock and Garling by extension, so why not? Give us some more Garling lore. Let him get a W on screen, Oda, please. That would be crazy. I doubt it's gonna happen, but imagine Harald and Garling spar, you know, as a friendly bout, and then Harald is like, whoa, this guy's really strong, oh my god. And then Garling's like, yep, you know, I'm the guy that beat Roxy Zebek, ha ha ha. That'd be kind of cool. Although we do know kind of the truth, right? He did beat Rox, but he didn't exactly take him from 100% to 0. So now, onto the arbitrary numbers we like to throw onto these predictions on how likely I think they are to happen. Dr. Kureha mention or appearance. I'm going to lowball this one at 20%. While it is a fine idea, it does seem a little bit random right now. And the funniest part about Dr. Kureha coming over here, by the way, is that Dr. Kureha is very far from Elbaph. You know, if she's at Drum Kingdom right now, brother, that is like at the entrance of the Grand Line. Elbaph is damn near at the end of the New World. So yeah, going all the way to Kureha, that might be a hurdle. And it would be like, hey, Hired, why not just stop at a closer island? Why go all the way to Kureha? How do you even know about Kureha? Does her name even have that infamy to it? I don't know, man. Like, nobody outside of Drum Kingdom has ever mentioned her before. So why would he go straight to her? I feel like there's a lot of questions with this. I do like it. I wish it happened, but I'm low on it. Harald blunder. Yeah, I think we're going to see this. I'm going to give it a good old 80%. Not like hyper confident to give it 100, but I think it has a high likelihood just because that should be like the next big thing we get from him. Elbaph Elder reveal. Ooh, 50%. Yeah, 50%. I mean, if Elbaph gets admitted to the WG, like, we got to see these guys, right? Like, you can't just keep on silhouetting them, Oda. They got some wacky-ass designs. I can already tell. World government help. I will give this a 70%. 70%. Mainly because they do like Harald. Like, they're buds, man. I cannot imagine them saying, hey, Harald, we're not going to save your wife. Go F yourself. Like, not possible. It's no chance, bro. No chance. I'd have getting cooked 100. Yeah, I put this in the middle for a reason. Generally, I don't really, like, care to see what's in the middle slot. But here we go. 100%. That's the free space. Harold becomes a God Knight. I am confident in this one. I'd say 90%. I think he'll get promoted to deep sea level. Ooh, wait. If he hits deep sea level, then that means he has regeneration, which would make killing him a lot harder. No, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it. Yeah, 90%, 90%. Gomu being taken by Shanks, I'm gonna lowball this one, just because I feel like the Harald death thing and the whole Loki escaping, that's gonna be so massive that we probably won't see Gomu Shanks for a while. So 10% on that. Mihawk lore, I like this one. I'll give it 20%. Yeah, Mihawk, I think last week I gave this 10. Here, I'll give it 20. Because we are sticking with Shanks for a good amount. And this should be the Shanks, the two-armed Shanks, mind you, that is known for his legendary duels with Mihawk. So yeah, let's get Mihawk, brother. Let's get him. Garling something, because this is so broad, I'm gonna give this a 100% chance. It's too broad. Like, if it was like Garling fights, I'd be like, oh, like 5%, right? Ooh, maybe 6%. But Garling something, literally Garling anything, 100. Yeah, I give it 100. But that is it for my predictions for 1168. Let me know what you guys think about all of this down below, and I will catch you guys in the next day or two when the spoilers for 1168 drops. Peace out, brothers.